shocking new secrets from the forbidden Book of Enoch in the Bible. The past holds secret, and we're here to uncover them. Join us. We'd be honored to have you with us. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The Book of Enoch, which was removed from the official Bible centuries ago, is once again bringing these hidden secrets to light in a world obsessed with conspiracy theories and mysterious tales. The astonishing content of these so-called apocryphal books remains a hot topic of debate. Some believe this book holds secret knowledge that could reveal the true origin of humanity. But what exactly is written in these controversial passages? Why were they left out of the official Bible? And most importantly, what's the real story behind Enoch's supernatural experiences, things he supposedly witnessed with his own eyes? Let's dive into this forbidden biblical knowledge and uncover the truth together. But before we start, make sure you've liked the video and subscribed to the channel. Then just comment. I subscribed and tell us. Have you ever heard of the apocryphal marriage books? We'll give a heart to the most interesting comments and pin them to the top. Now let's get to the heart of the matter. Who was Enoch, really? And which of his experiences were significant enough to be recorded for all of history? To find out, we need to take a look at the official version of the Bible. But when you go through the Christian holy texts, you'll quickly realize there's very little information about Enoch, even in the Old Testament. It briefly mentions that Enoch, the son of Jared and a descendant of Seth, Adam and Eve's third son, was different from other people. One striking detail is the age attributed to him. Enoch supposedly lived 365 years, but even that's nothing compared to the age of his son Methuselah, who is said to have lived nearly 1,000 years. The New Testament takes Enoch's story a bit further. In the book of Hebrews, it says that Enoch was loved by God and was taken up because of his deep faith. But what does that really mean? Essentially, it means Enoch was allowed to enter the kingdom of heaven without dying. A pretty wild idea. And that's where the official account ends. If you want to learn more about this fascinating figure and the supernatural events he's said to have experienced, you'll have to look beyond the Bible into what are often called the forbidden or lost books. Let's talk about some mysterious discoveries. Between 1947 and 1956, the Dead Sea Scrolls were found, ancient texts that changed how we view the Hebrew Bible. Among these hidden treasures was a large collection of writings, including what later became known as the Ethiopian Book of Enoch. What makes it special is that it's considered the oldest known apocalyptic writing in history. Experts believe the Book of Enoch was written as early as the 3rd century BCE, far earlier than the Book of Revelation, which was written around 95 CE. The reason it's called the Ethiopian Book of Enoch is that the complete version survived only in the ancient Ethiopian language. Because of that, it became an accepted part of the Ethiopian Church's scripture, unlike in Jewish and most Christian traditions where it was excluded from the official canon. Looking again at the New Testament, we find even more curious details. In Hebrews 11 verse 5 it says Enoch was taken away by faith so he wouldn't experience death because God had taken him. Before he was taken, he was known to have pleased God. Sounds simple enough, but it raises a deeper question. Why did God love Enoch so much that he saved him from death and brought him directly to himself? Unfortunately, the Bible doesn't give us a clear answer. We do learn a bit more in the book of Jude, where Enoch is mentioned as warning against false teachings and predicting God's judgment. He even shows up in Jesus' family tree in the Gospel of Luke, which is pretty surprising, but the real story of Enoch is much bigger than what's in the official Bible. To truly understand it, we have to explore the broader traditions and the apocryphal texts that many believe hold the key to humanity's ancient spiritual knowledge. We can take a closer look at writings that the Church has strongly rejected, what are often called the forbidden or apocryphal books, filled with knowledge that's been considered off-limits. While some Christian groups and other religions have accepted the Book of Enoch, often referred to here as the Book of Watchers, as part of the Bible over the centuries, most churches eventually removed it from official scripture. One big exception, however, is the Ethiopian Church, which still considers it a genuine and sacred part of the Bible. In 1948, large portions of this book were discovered in the Dead Sea Scrolls hidden in caves. Based on these findings and other sources, The complete Ethiopian Book of Enoch was reconstructed. Once you look closely at its astonishing contents and interpretations, it becomes pretty clear why the church might prefer to stay silent about Enoch's strange and supernatural experiences. Let's now dive deeper into this forbidden content. The mission of Enoch and the fallen angels. The apocryphal texts mainly deal with earthly life, the story of Enoch, the mysterious Watchers, a group of fallen angels and their rebellion. Early on, we learn that Enoch was a prophet who received a vision of the coming judgment. According to the Book of the Watchers, a group of angels led by a figure named Samyaza decided to descend to earth and take human women for themselves. They carried out their plan, and from these unions, giant offspring were born. These giants caused chaos and destruction across the earth. When God saw the devastation they were causing, he became angry. He decided to cast the fallen angels out of heaven and condemn them to a fiery pit on Judgment Day. To wipe out the giants, God planned to send a devastating flood. This is where Enoch comes in. Faced with God's wrath, the fallen angels asked Enoch to plead with God on their behalf. But God refused. Instead, he gave Enoch the task of delivering his judgment to the fallen angels, a message of rejection and doom. In another part of the text, often called the astronomical book, we get a detailed look at how the ancient world viewed the universe. The Earth is described as a flat structure supported by pillars. The sun and moon are said to hang from cords, circling the flat Earth like cosmic decorations. But what exactly was Enoch's ascent to heaven, and how did that journey unfold? To find out, we turn to another non-canonical source, the Slavonic Book of Enoch. This version goes into much more detail about Enoch's heavenly journey. In it, Enoch is guided by two angels who take him on a tour through 7 levels of heaven, not just one. Here's a breakdown of what he sees. First heaven, full of stars, clouds, and celestial lights. Second heaven, where the angels who disobeyed God await their judgment. Third heaven, a place of peace, where the souls of the righteous dwell. But also to the north lies a realm of punishment for sinners. Fourth heaven, home to the sun and moon, which move through heavenly gates. Fifth heaven, where the Watchers, the fallen angels, live, appearing as massive beings with human-like features. Sixth heaven, where the angelic powers that keep the universe in balance reside. Seventh heaven, the highest realm, where God himself dwells along with the archangels and heavenly hosts. Keep in mind, none of this appears in the official version of the Bible. Many traditional Christians believe these stories of the 7 heavens were simply invented by false teachers to mislead believers. This isn't an attack on your faith if you believe in the Apocrypha. It's just what many mainstream Christian groups believe. The truth is, we don't have enough solid evidence to say for sure whether these texts were divinely inspired or not. Much of the story has been lost over time. As Enoch ascends to the highest heaven, he is given a special mission. God commands him to write down everything he is shown. In just 30 days, Enoch completes 360 books. He learns how God created the earth, the heavens, and all of existence. Then Enoch returns to the world of humans to share his knowledge with his children. He warns them to live righteous lives and avoid sin, passing on the divine wisdom he received. Finally, Enoch is taken once more, this time fully, to the highest paradise, never to return to earth again. Some of the strange and terrifying things one man experienced, according to the forbidden scriptures, weren't from this world, not in the literal sense. So what could have possibly convinced the church over the centuries to completely ban the Book of Enoch from the Bible? These ancient writings offer a powerful look at God's justice and power. But in some alternative circles, people believe the real reason the book was removed is because it sheds a whole new light on the true nature of our Creator and his home. According to these theories, Enoch didn't experience a heavenly journey in the traditional biblical sense, but rather something closer to a classic alien encounter. But let's start at the beginning. Supporters of the ancient aliens theory suggest that early humans were visited by technologically advanced extraterrestrials. Lacking the language or scientific knowledge to explain these encounters, ancient people interpreted them as supernatural or religious events. In other words, what we call creation in the Bible might actually have been a genetic experiment carried out by beings from another world. The appearance of God in the Book of Enoch sounds to them more like a UFO landing. than a divine revelation. And the angels descending from heaven, possibly ancient astronauts, godlike extraterrestrial visitors. According to this theory, the hidden texts of Enoch actually support the idea of ancient alien contact. Remember, the ancient astronaut theory is built on the belief that advanced alien intelligences regularly visited our ancestors. But if that's the case, how do we explain God judging the fallen angels and the bloodthirsty giants they created? Well, ancient astronaut theorists offer a different interpretation of what's written in the Book of Enoch. They claim that the beings who came to Earth and had children with women weren't servants of God. They were alien species, and the figure referred to as God wasn't actually the divine creator, but the leader of an alien civilization. So Enoch's so-called ascension to heaven may have been less a spiritual experience and more like a classic alien abduction. What Enoch saw might have been an alien mothership, or even their home planet. And the Great Flood, which God used to wipe out the giants. That might have been a highly advanced alien weapon. Now, of course, this all sounds pretty wild at first. It's hard to reframe ancient religious texts in such a sci-fi context. But the Book of Enoch actually hints at this cosmic view. For example, the astronomical book, one part of the collection, doesn't mention spaceships, but it does describe the universe in a very unique way. According to it, Earth isn't a sphere, it's a flat disk, and the sun doesn't orbit the Earth. Instead, the sun moves around Earth, which is at the center. People who believe in this ancient alien interpretation of Enoch's story eventually face a big question. If aliens visited us before, why haven't they come back? After all, they revealed themselves to early humans, who even worshipped them as gods. Well, some theorists think a second visit is coming soon. They say these beings have been watching us all along, quietly monitoring our development. And now, with how fast our technology has evolved, especially with powerful weapons and AI, they might be getting ready to step in before we destroy ourselves. In short, according to ancient astronaut believers, these invisible watchers might soon return to set humanity back on the right path. So friends, what do you think? How should we interpret the stories in the Book of Enoch? Are God and the angels actually ancient aliens? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and support our journey to uncover the truth. Until next time, see you in the next